I'm John Dardis. I was born in Dublin, and my background is studying science, then of course studies to be a priest, and then studies in communications. And I worked in communications for about 10 years, then in the Jesuit Refugee Service, then as Provincial of Ireland, then as President of the European Provincials, and now I'm in the Curia in Rome as Councillor for Discernment and Apostolic Planning. I think the Society has been trying for many years to promote discernment in common. We feel we're good at planning, we're good at thinking, we have a good approach to things, but we need also to integrate that with our spirituality more. We do it, but sometimes it's a little bit, it's not so developed. So the idea is to link up our planning with discernment. And I think in this time with the Society, it's a very critical time. Many decisions have to be made. So we need to really discern, to get back in touch with the way the first companions of St. Ignatius, the way they really went about trying to come to big decisions. We have to get back in touch with that. In February, we're going to have a big meeting. It's a meeting of experts from different parts of the world. Experts in discernment in common, experts in facilitating processes. 3, sometimes 4 from the different conferences, more from Europe actually. And they'll come and they'll say, how do I work in discernment in common and in planning? Can I share with you? Can you share with me? What resources do you use? What experts do you have? To really develop a more coherent methodology for discernment in common and for planning, to link those things. And then they will form teams, and they will go in different languages. They will go and they'll help local provinces with developing their ability in these areas. I love when he talks about the need for discernment in the church. He's great. He says, you know, life is not black and white. There's so many gray areas that are not certain, and people are searching. And the church should be helping people to search in the reality of the life. Reality of our lives is not easy for anybody, with family, also in the church as a priest or a brother or in church leadership. The reality is difficult, it's complicated. The books can tell you so much, then you need to discern. Pope Francis is wonderful on discernment. He's fantastic on discernment. He talks about it many times, but he says, you know, there's black and white, and then there's grey. There's grey area, and many of us live our lives in this grey area. Most of us live our lives in this grey area with family, with church leadership, whatever. And we have to discern that the book can tell you certain things, then you have to discern. I would hope that my job as Councillor for Discernment and Planning would really help the Society to embrace discernment, to say, yes, this is our way, and that I can be of concrete help to provincials, major superiors, and Jesuits, and those who work with us also. That's my hope. Well, we led the members of the group here through a process around discernment in common. What's been your experience? What worked well? What didn't work well? It's very important to start with people's experience, that they feel respected. And then after that, we read the letter of Father General on discernment. And I think they were surprised, saying, we're not so bad. We're doing this, actually. We have good ideas. But we started with the experience of the people in the room, and that was important. I think we're not sure of ourselves. We're a bit, even though Jesuits have a reputation for discernment, I think sometimes we feel insecure about ourselves. And secondly, when you discern, you hand over to the Holy Spirit. You're no longer in charge. And the human tendency is always to want to control everything. And we have to let go, not be like this, but be like this.